8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azure. Let's start this damn show. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azure. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like It or Not starts now.
Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And I care who doesn't like it.
All right, Ben. Okay, first of all, Bubba's not here. Let me handle some.
Shout out to Bubba, DJ X3C.
Yeah, X3C is not here right now. First of all, happy 2024. I know that we said we're gonna. I know that in my bit of our promo for our teaser, I said, everybody's gonna be here, even though it's my show. Everybody's gonna be here. But Ben came. So look, Ben wasn't even in it, and Ben is the one here, and right. Bubba's behind, ain't here. But that's all right. That's all right. He had some family matters to attend to. Everything's okay. Checked with him. He said everything is okay. So y'all just send him some love. And other than that, happy 2024. This is our premiere episode for the year 2024. So all things good. Now that we've gotten that out the way, because we'll bring it back. I just want to know, Ben, first of all, I see that salt and pepper beard coming in. I see it.
Praise the Lord, everybody.
I do. Okay, it's nice. I see it. Now, beyond that, what is up with the scarf? What is up with the hat, the scarf? What's going on?
And the jersey.
You're up north.
No, it's a throwback. It's a quick story. Can I give it real quick and then we get to the show?
No, I'm all about stories. Hey, just like you said, Rebecca always has a story to tell, but Ben, it's your turn. It's 2024. The tables have turned. Tell us the story.
Tables have turned. Let me tell you a story. So since last we met, Benjamin, you need something? Huh? Okay. Oh, well, I'm in the show right now. Thank you, son. Close the door. Lock it.
Absolutely. Hey, Jada, how are you?
I'm a family man. Rebecca, you know that, right?
Absolutely.
Since the last time we had a show, we've got some pretty concrete evidence of a potential coup, a new coup here in the United States. And it involves the Confederacy, the lost causers, the people who never got over losing the Civil War. They passed it down from generation to generation. I've got some audio of it's pretty disturbing, and I'm not ready to give it out yet, so I'm just taking my time with it. But what I realized was what I can do as a pastor is I can make a demonstration of exactly what we need right now, which is a coalition of all of the coolest white people we know. And so it immediately dawned on me. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Let me go through the cool. First of all, Star Wars, Star Trek. There's a universe of some of the coolest white people on the planet, Rebecca, that are, however, not the ones who are taking over the political power system. The ones who are currently taking over the United States political power system, they're the white guys who don't want women to vote, literally.
And
they said it. Go ahead.
No. You're talking about specific type, and that's what the type that you're talking about is. I know exactly what you're saying. We know what they look like. We know who they are. We know they're in so many different places. But what does the outfit? What is it? Because I know you. Once you get to your mind to exposing, going into an expose, baby, all of the above, it's happening. So is the outfit giving the mad scientists?
No. It's a collection of people that I know personally and groups of people that I have long affiliated with outside of politics. And this jersey, I think, is one of the coolest testimonies of some of the downest, dopest white folks who are, to me, the best representation of whiteness that is on the face of this planet, not these Jim Crow crackers who are trying to overthrow the government.
To 2024 coming in hard right here on Like It or Not. Okay. And yes, go ahead, man. Continue. No, this is your moment. This is your time. Flesh it out. Because
no, I might. You know how I get, Rebecca. I need you to jump in there and let me decompress a minute, so because it's necessary for me to say it correctly and not the Ben of the old days that would be like
No, we need that. We need a little bit.
No. But can you confirm for the people that everything I've said so far, particularly about the type of white people who are overtaking this country right now, the Fox News generation, those who were brought up on that poison, the lost causers, the Confederacy that is still mad about losing the Civil War, it has risen again. The idiocy of the anti-vaxxers, because I'm going to tell you the truth, that's the intersection that is the most dangerous. They have to have a generation of extremely ignorant people who have no critical skills analysis whatsoever. And oh, by the way, they don't want women to vote. They think that every black woman, I know you've seen this one now. I'm going to step back and let you talk here.
We're gonna have conversations.
They have said that every black woman who has been hired has only been hired because of diversity and inclusion. Not only are they are so dumb. Are you really hinging your revolution on that, Elon Musk?
It's good that you mentioned that they are so dumb, because on Thursday we were discussing, and I forget his name, Fetterman.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, guys, because they're like, why is he doing this? Why is he comparing or telling South Africa to sit this one out? Those kind of things. And I'm like, why are y'all shocked at this? Because this is just a part of the stupidity that is a lot of grifters, right wingers, fascists, conservatives, whatever, people who want to stick on a certain point. And it pays to do those things. But not only that, there is no education there. It's dumb, dull, void. It's just a space. It's just a black hole. And they allow these people to be the experts on these matters. And that's
that is the type of person, Rebecca, the type of person who is coming into power in this country. They are positioned. Of course, Donald Trump represents the apex of this, right? Let's just go to the apex of it. I know, and a side note, I want to recognize the people of Yemen, not the Houthis, but I want to recognize the strike that was just struck, and I want to recognize all of the global wars that are happening right now. Many of them are caused exactly because of the white supremacy that I'm talking about. I got to recognize it because it just happened yesterday, and now we are at war in every region of the planet. And what I'm talking about is a luxury that I still have, Rebecca, that we don't have bombs dropping over our cities yet.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
But we do have people openly conspiring with General Michael Flynn to commit all but a coup in the military. Publicly, like we got the audio of them conspiring with Green Berets to remove from office. Let me use the exact words so that they don't say I'm being hyperbolic. To remove from office in any of the three branches of government anyone who was involved with the vaccine or the vaccine mandate.
So, you know what's so crazy? Why is it such a big deal for anybody who, and mind you, guys, we just, I want to say some folks were celebrating the anniversary of January 6th. And we know that around the time when people, January 6th, those people, the domestic terrorists who done did what they did. But that was around the time people were rushing up to the Capitol saying that Trump won the election and Biden stole it, and people were saying that anti-vaxxers this and that, and they were punching nurses in the face. This was that time.
Yes,
this was all of that time
right there on the screen.
They were going up there talking about Black Lives Matter did this, the vaccination folks. They're the ones that are at fault for us going to the Capitol because we needed to make sure that we remain safe and safe outside of that vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
What are we? Where were we in this time, Ben? People were getting shot in their body parts with rubber bullets.
Oh, yes.
While there was nothing happening to these folks that serious, that went, domestic terrorists that went up to the Capitol.
My.
Like, let's talk about this. But there are people. These are the Fetterman crew. This is the Fox News crew. This is all of them. This is, and they
not that Fetterman.
The person. Yes. They want us to mourn the person that died. But I was saying on Thursday, but I did mention you on Thursday. I said they said they want us to mourn the person that died. I said Ben was like, and when the lady, you were like, sorry.
Listen, I don't celebrate anybody's demise. I think human consciousness, if you want to ask what I really believe, human consciousness is such a miracle and a marvel of science that to take that out of existence under whatever the circumstance, but I didn't care when Ashley Babbitt got popped because it was the
not you calling her by name on this show.
I mean, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. One, what would they tell us? He should have complied.
My thing is, what was Ashley Babbitt fighting for?
Instructions.
What was Ashley Babbitt fighting for?
What was she exactly? To further our oppression, so that they can make America great again.
Because Ashley Babbitt was a part of the crew that took away emergency buttons from underneath our representatives' desks. They
come on, somebody.
Left poop on their desk. They left blood stains. They took actual documents, the nation's documents. And they were fighting for what at this time? Meanwhile, we were outside of there fighting for our lives to matter, simultaneously fighting for
so glad you said
to
that.
Figure out what was happening with COVID and to keep our families safe.
Right.
Fighting to make sure that we can go to the grocery store and make it out alive.
See, we got to put, you know what, when we do it in post editing, we need to put up the pictures of what you're talking about because people really do forget and they forget very quickly. Now I'm still in story mode, but it's covering the news as well, because this is reality of what's happening around us. But you brought up another set of the coolest white people that I've ever met or had the pleasure of knowing about. And it would be those white soccer moms who went head to head in Minneapolis with the Gestapo police forces there who were trying to shut them down and keep them from protesting on behalf of George Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Hawaiian moms, they got, I'm just trying to put the image in your head. I'm not trying to insult them at all. I'm just trying to, I remember that first group, I remember them charging in against tear gas and stormtroopers. Coolest white people I ever met. I haven't met them, but you know what I mean? I feel like I know them because I watched the video.
We have some look, we have some great white people. That's like, I have Black friends. I mean, they're great white people, but
I know some.
The ones that are not forcing us the ones that are not trying to force us to give them a pass to be who they are, but ones that are educating themselves. There's too much information out there for you not to, and there is a human aspect of this I don't understand why I have to teach you about that human aspect at this point. And so those moms and other people who are allies that do not have to be sat and educated to be an ally, there are the simplest things of seeing what's happening and being on the right side of it, because you know that people are being mistreated or murdered, slaughtered because of what they look like.
That's right. It's just a matter of fact. And so when you brought up the reality that there was simultaneously, you really hit on something profound. This is why I have her on the banner of my show, by the way, of my channel. I was like, David, wait a minute.
Yo,
you got this girl, excuse me. You got this grown woman at the center of my
this is my show.
But here's the reason why I have you at the center of my channel. For right now, I'm not back yet, and you are,
Not him saying at
kudos
the
to
center
you.
on my.
I just need it on the record. I ain't gonna ever say that again.
That's so funny. It's on the record. It's on the
It's
record.
on the record. So let it be. So anyway, Rebecca has this uncanny knack of getting to the core problem, even no matter how big it is. Rebecca just outlined 2 simultaneous protests that were occurring back around 2020. And the stark difference, and actually, I think it may have been 3, but we'll go with 2. The stark difference between why we were protesting and the stark difference of what we faced. And Rebecca, I can't put it better. Like, it's that collision, that dichotomy right there that reveals everything that we need to talk about. See, I'm still in pastor mode, but you preaching.
Look, I'm in the house today. It's because you came with the energy. Listen, I know when I look back at these things, they want us to remember and mourn people from January 6th. Meanwhile, on January 12th, 2010, there was an earthquake in Haiti, and Hillary Clinton went over there and with the Red Cross and with all of that money that was raised, built 6 houses. That's what I mourn. The people that lost their lives and what was supposed to be a rebuilding of Haiti. I mourn that because there was abuse like we see here, America, that's how they function. And they took advantage of a moment. They take advantage of people who need. They take advantage of people who they see as inferior. That's just like this nation to do. What we see is people like Fetterman speaking up on behalf of Israel. And what I see is that's just the American way. For him to ask South Africa when there was apartheid over there, for them to ask South Africa to stay out of the conversation. Meanwhile, Fetterman, you come from a nation that literally says that this land is their land. And meanwhile, they do not recognize the indigenous people that they killed off. I looked at where I stay. I wanted to look because when I first came here, it gave racist vibes. If you put my city, which I won't tell you what it is, in Wikipedia, they put indigenous people were removed, and then they go down with, and then the colonists settled here, and they did this, but all they put for the indigenous people, and this is how they are recognized in this city that I lived in, indigenous people were removed. That's it. Meanwhile, every corner you turn, an indigenous name. I don't like it. I will not stand by it. I will not mourn a person who was a part of something that literally
tied together
was racist.
January 6th.
January 6th was racist. It was against the law, like in so many ways. People got a slap on the wrist, but people who were fighting for justice.
David, do me a favor and put back up January 6th as she speaks, because I need people to visually connect what she's saying to what she, because it's so real.
They went up there. This is against the law. They challenged our state representatives, our congressmen and women, all of them. They broke in to the Capitol, y'all. We have those white people that Ben is speaking of literally fund their buses. Facebook did not take down pages that were talking about this and the planning of it. We knew it was going to happen days before. And you would think the way that they brought out military force for when we went outside to go and protest for the life that we lost in George Floyd and in Breonna Taylor and so many more people, they brought out military forces for us. We saw 3 police officers fighting for their lives against all of these people. This is the juxtaposition that we have to keep looking at. And we have people like Fetterman and old boy that got kicked off of Fox, that's now on X, who gets a platform to continue to spew lies. Joe Rogan and friends, all of these people, Alex Jones, every single one of them, all of them get to continue to spew out lies when they cause so much harm. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh,
this lady
my gosh.
sat there and said that she said that the kids that were murdered, it was a conspiracy. Hey, she's a state representative. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? We're
We're
having
talking
to
about,
fear.
if I could, if
Go
I
ahead,
could,
Ben.
if one detail, we are talking about a specific group of white people from two different sections of the United States of America, the North and the South, because y'all are still divided just as much along those lines. Don't let nobody fool you. The South never went nowhere. In fact, they were the ones that got reparations, not enslaved people. Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about two groups of spoiled children of the empire. The white descendants of the elite, the senators who are in office now, people like Matt Gaetz, who got where he got because of his daddy, who was a successful politician, right? These spoiled children, Marjorie Taylor Greene from the South, her little country Bama backwards behind. And that's no slight to the country folk, because I'm from the South. I don't even like Ohio State. I'm just wearing this to make a point about a cool white person I know. Okay. I'm from the South. There's a difference in the type of white person I'm talking about. I got some Southern white friends who I would ride for just as much as I would ride for my people until we come to that intersection where they cross the line with my people, of course. Like, you know what I mean? I love y'all, but you ain't gonna make me cross my people. But I got some white Southern friends who are so authentic, who don't want to oppress nobody. They want to raise their kids just like I want to raise my kids. And they are not represented in that lost cause bigotry that has connected with the anti-vax ignorance that has synced up with them Northern Jim Crow crackers. And they are now uniting into a Voltron of white supremacy.
Yeah.
And they are openly and publicly planning with former disgraced General Michael Flynn. And I made him eat his own words the other day on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, not you back on Twitter and Michael Flynn responding.
Yeah, well, that was his bad. He shouldn't have responded.
Oh.
The rest of them are smart enough. They all just blocked me in advance.
Oh Lord. I haven't been on X.com. That's not a
Twitter,
porn site. That's the new
his mama
name
named him Twitter.
and that's what I'm gonna call
That's what I'm looking.
So, but no, these white corporations, these white institutions, these white, well, everything here is basically white led. We're functioning under, no matter what job, Black folks are in positions, and it's giving that we have to focus on, we have to function in white supremacy. We have to figure out how to live in it and thrive in it. I hate that. And I'm talking about Claudine Gay. Claudine Gay was Harvard's most recent president with the shortest tenure at Harvard University. Okay. Claudine Gay was the Black president. She was a Black woman president with Haitian immigrant parents. And so she knows what that is. Like, here's my thing. I'm going to read the story to you guys. But before I do, when we first heard about Claudine Gay becoming the president of Harvard, it was a big deal for us, right? It was a huge deal for us. But I also feel like it was a diversity and inclusion pick. And when y'all know how I feel about that, that's basically when they choose a Black person for the moment. And why not choose a Black person in the moment? Because it was the hottest thing to do.
But one thing
right?
you're certainly not saying is that even if she was a diversity pick, it does not diminish her qualities, her capabilities, her ability to do the job, right? That I understand, because we go way back with your argument. You one of the first people to call out diversity and inclusion.
So sick of it. Because they only hired her because of that. I know their intentions.
That's not true, Rebecca. Stop that.
No, she is. She's qualified. She's more than qualified to fit that position. She probably is more than qualified than anybody else that sat in that position because of legacy. These legacy hires, she actually is somebody who deserved to be in that position, right? But they only hired her because they can say, Harvard can say in their history, we did have a Black president, and she was a woman, and her parents actually happened to be migrants from Haiti, right? So we checked all the boxes.
That is
every single one.
That's it.
And we made sure that her time there was very, very short. So the shortest tenure of a Harvard president is, and look, that's how they're starting the news about this woman. The shortest tenure of a Harvard president is over. after Claudine Gay stepped down. Her resignation comes following a December filled with scrutiny over how she handled anti Semitism on campus and allegations of plagiarism. In a statement, Gay said, "It has become clear that it is in the best interest of Harvard for me to resign so the community can navigate this moment of extraordinary challenge with a focus on the institution rather than the individual." She continued to say in her statement that she thought it was the right thing for the university to move forward, and she is probably right. That's what the Harvard student said. Now, she also said that she thinks that this is the best, and I'm paraphrasing here because it's not in this particular article, but it's the best for her to just get out because she felt like they were pushing her to get out in her statement. So they were putting out, she said what they're saying about her is untrue. And they were saying that she plagiarized. The students there were saying that there was an uptick in anti-Semitism with her being the president.
Right. Thank you for contextualizing it for what it really was.
So let's be honest here. They were going to search for any and everything for her to get out of that seat.
But can I tell you how good God is?
Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
I think his name is Bill Ackman on Twitter. Because mama named Twitter, we're going to call it Twitter. The billionaire who went after her, who was at the core and the source of this whole thing, the man who brought life to this, turns out his wife has multiple counts of plagiarism so let's be sure, like what they're parsing in terms of Claudine Gay is not really plagiarism. It's omission. And I think one of the
we got to be clear because they're using the word plagiarism. And for all of the dumb folks that follow the dumb white folks that lead, then they're going to see that word and they are going to literally be like, she wasn't a fit person. And they're not going to look, they're not going to go do their research.
Diversity, but then they say she's a diversity and inclusion pick. And I know you don't like diversity and inclusion, but you don't like it for a totally different reason.
Because that's why she's the pick. I'm telling you, Ben, if it wasn't historically, it wouldn't have been this. And she would not have been the shortest person, had the shortest tenure in the history of.
So now they can say they did it and look what happened. We did it. Harvard said we did it. Look what happened. She had the shortest term ever.
And I'm sick
and now we won't ever hire a black person again.
And she resigned because they pushed her to do it. They bullied her to do it. They literally said that we will continue to. And those leaders who are in place as well around her, I know they made sure to never make her feel like it was home.
Of course.
Come on now. So in this statement here, keep that up on screen. They say, while Miss Gay's work does contain some verbatim phrases used by Mr. Bobo and Mr. Gilliam and Mr. Rufo, that Mr. Rufo argued should have been in quotation marks. Y'all, listen to me.
That's the nuance that matters, though.
Argued should have been in quotation marks. She does cite them by name in her thesis. You guys. Listen to me again. This is the problem because she used their words verbatim and did not put quotation marks. Amen. So my problem is
she cited them.
But yes.
Now don't get me wrong. Listen, that is on as far as PhDs and dissertations go, that's a problem. She shouldn't have done that. That was an omission, and it should have been corrected.
It's a small problem. They made it seem like if she attributed them in it, if she made sure she cited them, if she made sure she showed like as reference where she got it from. Understandably so. As a grammar issue, yes.
No. Even as an academic issue, I just want to be sure because
plagiarism.
No. See, here's the nuance. I parse difference. No, I don't agree with them when they say plagiarism, as in she had an intention and she's inferior in her abilities because she plagiarized.
They wanted to put that out first.
That's the BS.
It was intentional. It was intentional to do it as because they had nothing.
That's what they wanted to paint it as because they have to paint every black woman as a diversity and inclusion inferior pick.
Then they had to reach down in the depths.
To this, they had to go this deep
of Katt Williams' internet and go check out what the problem was with this woman. And they said,
we got Katt Williams to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So much to talk about.
Anti-Semitism. Students, can you agree that she ain't mentioned nothing about it? Israel? Okay. She ain't mentioned nothing about Okay, because she didn't mention about what was happening on campus, there was an uptick because she didn't call it out by name. That's what they were saying.
Now, I do want to put one more thing on the record too. I don't agree with all of Claudine Gay's politics.
Mhm.
I actually have quite a few things that I'm like,
No, and that's understandably so, Ben. Here's the thing. I said this on this on Thursday. I don't have to agree with a lot of people's politics. Um, I love my pastor. Sometimes I go to church and be like, "This ain't the one today, Pass. This ain't
you
it."
go to that white church?
No, I don't. It's a black church,
Okay, okay.
and sometimes my black pastor don't get it right, and that's okay. He ain't always gonna get it right all the time. Sometimes I don't like the way praise and worship do their thing. Sometimes I think it's too theatrical. It's too many things happening at one damn time. I do.
The house of the Lord.
I do. But I know that here is so much better than where I was over there at the white church. I know that my heart is getting something. So when I said we're not going to always agree with our leaders or whatever in total, but Claudine Gay was a diversity, and they used her, and they're trying to damage her. They bullied her. America does what it does. Harvard is we know it as one of the institutions, America's institutions. It's so hard to get into. Legacy kids just breathe and they're in the school. Everybody else has to work 17,000 jobs. There was a point in time that school did not let no black people in there. And now it's, oh my goodness, a black, right? That's what it is. So for them to have hired her and made sure that her time there was small, and for the things that they chose
to talk about
I
her.
can tell you that previous presidents have probably crossed the line in so many ways and probably financially stole money from the schools. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if you look into it, there's something there.
Larry Summers,
Claudine Gay,
I'm not accusing him of doing anything that you said. I just want to say if they want to look up somebody,
right. So I'm saying, but to pull nothing and make sure they made her resign, they
listen,
pushed her to the core.
Look, I gotta put, and we're talking about this, and we got to clip this because I gotta mention Dr. The superintendent. Somebody please Google it, and because I was at the meeting several times. The black superintendent. Matter of fact, all of the black superintendents. My goodness, think about all of the black superintendents around the country that have just been ejected from their offices at the same time. Right from Mississippi, I think in Tennessee, I know most certainly Jacksonville, Florida, where they got rid of one of the most successful superintendents in the history of Duval County. They got rid of her, Dr. Green. It finally came to me. You know what I mean? So they are going after black people specifically. If there's some brown folks who get caught in the crossfire, no, they're going after y'all too, but they're going with black women first.
No, they definitely are. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Give me one moment because you mentioned something that made me go pull up a story. It's also a trending story. Ben, you're saying that they're going after black women specifically. How about let's talk about right in the HBCUs? I never knew. Yeah, but I never knew that in today that there was an HBCU that actually had a white
Houseway.
A white president. Lincoln University in Missouri. I didn't know that. And I don't know all the names of the HBCUs because mine is at the top, Florida A&M University.
I need to take a second to go change because I don't represent the school. Actually, I was in a demonstration mode, but hell, Wildcats, come on.
Yes, and of course we mentioned the Wildcats, of course at BCC, now BCU, Bethune-Cookman. But honestly, to take a serious note, Ben, we're talking about how white people are driving out black people, and especially black women are getting hit hard when it comes to these spaces and things. But the president of Lincoln University in Missouri was placed on a paid leave on Friday after students and alumni called for his outs following a senior administrator's death by suicide this week. President John Mosely, which I did not know. I didn't know how. I would love to go look further into it, but this news just came to me. I don't know how this white man got there. I don't know if he paid his way there. I do know that our HBCUs, just to keep them from shutting down, had to be purchased by white people, or they threatened to shut us down. So some of these HBCU are owned and operated by white people, unfortunately, just to keep it up. Okay, so President John Mosely is his name. He volunteered to be placed on. He volunteered to be placed on a leave while a third party reviews personnel issues and concerns about mental health for who the now deceased by suicide, Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey. She died by suicide, and that was on Monday. And the board said that they are committed to make certain the mental health of Lincoln University employees is a priority. So they gave out their statement, but a lot of the students were the ones that were calling for an investigation to happen because she wrote a letter and she said because he mocked her, bullied her, pushed her when she talked about her mental health, and he made her feel small, and she tried to present things, and she was talking about stress, she was talking about all the stuff. She said this, she said, you are one of the reasons why I just felt like I can't even continue with doing my duty here at this HBCU. She was the vice president of student affairs, and she was only 49 years old. They said that she had been terminated.
Can we put up her picture, David, and take down that? We do want to emphasize that. I do want that very picture back up of the president.
But I want you to see.
Don't lose that one.
Antoinette Bonnie
her picture as we talk about her, please. Or
Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey. She was 49, and she was terminated by the president, the white man, on Mosely on January 3rd. The school did not respond to the request to comment about why she was terminated. And mind you, she's been at that school for a while, and they didn't say anything. I think that was disrespectful in its own because they were protecting, of course, they were protecting the president and the reputation of the school. But this is a woman who died, and she said it was because of the president of the school. They said that her relationship, that her parents were saying to the news that her relationship with the president was just deteriorating. And it got really bad last month, but she never gave any specifics, right? And Bailey said her husband, the woman's husband, the now deceased woman's husband, they said that she was depressed and did not feel supported in her role at the university. There are a lot of details that haven't been confirmed, so I don't want to necessarily say them, but basically she just kept going to him with different things where she felt like the school can push the school for the students and get it. He was shooting everything down. He was not adhering to when she said there was a mental health issue with her, and she said some bullying. So there were emails that have came out since then as well that she was sending to him. And so my thing is, why do we have somebody who doesn't understand the value of Blackness at a Black school as the president? When a Black woman talks about mental health, a white man will never be able to understand it. That's how I feel. And I'm talking about, that's why I had to remove, I loved my white therapist, my white male therapist. But as a Black woman and trying to explain some things, I felt like there was no way that you can understand my Black problems. And what you're telling me is just kind of like a Band-Aid and easy fix. I'm telling you, when I transferred over to a Black female therapist, the experience is totally different. So having leadership at a HBCU, and for those of you who are watching or listening and do not know what an HBCU is, that is a historically Black college and university that we had to, all of our schools have history of us creating them because we couldn't go nowhere else and trying to keep it up because it was threatened to be torn down and purchased. Like for me at FAMU, we were threatened to be torn down and purchased by FSU. Then they wanted to take our programs because our programs were so elite. So they wanted to attach their name to some of our programs. So I don't know how this Mosely man moseyed his way on up to Lincoln University to become president. But I wouldn't think,
because he's somebody's child who needed a job. and they got him that job.
Mhm.
A spoiled child of the empire who probably is aligned with Donald Trump. Now, I could be wrong on that. I can't. My son told me over the
Look,
holidays, stop assuming stuff about people, but I think
white
this is a
people.
good
Oh,
one.
that's a Trump supporter right now. We can't do that. We cannot do that, Benjamin P. Dixon. We can't be.
He might be a
everybody-
Biden voter for all I know.
Listen, we can't do that. But I would say he is not. If we're looking at this picture right now, you would even think that I'm talking about an HBCU, and you would think the president is the woman when we're
Mhm.
talking about an HBCU. But no, the white man is the president. My thing is, they will at an HBCU, of course, he's going to treat all of everybody as inferior. He looks different. This is a place that is supposed to praise Black
Oh my God.
people. The people who are coming there can only be. The president can never be white at an HBCU. Call me racist if you want to, but we worked hard. We had to create that because we weren't invited to the white schools. We couldn't go there.
Right, right. The
You couldn't
same
do a
reason
thing.
the Black church exists is the same reason HBCUs exist.
Okay. So when I say that, oh, yes, we can have white professors at the schools. And we invite all of our HBCUs. We never created those schools with the intention of nobody can go here. We said we got to create these schools because Black people need to be educated. And we never put something in there that said no white folks can go there. Anybody was able to go. Anybody is currently still able to go to our HBCUs. But as far as the presidency, people who are going to lead those schools and who
Come on.
can be able to lead the schools are not people with history of looking at Black people as inferior. And by that, I mean your family has history as looking at Black people as inferior. You cannot head any damn HBCU.
And shame on whoever Black on whatever committee. So this tells me that there's either that board. We got to look at we got to deconstruct this one. I didn't even know the racial makeup of the board.
Me too. I didn't have time to go in because I just found out about the story. So
I could ask. I could ask Chat GPT. We could do it on a break because I think David.
Yeah, let's take a break because there's so
Before
much.
we do, can I give a shout out to Soul Life? Soul Life in the chat room said, "Yo, rare YouTube algorithm win." That's a good sign. The algorithm gave us one.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Hey, run that. Hey, listen, for everybody that's watching before we go to break, algorithm is algorithm right now. So
yeah,
on both pages, because we need the numbers up. Hey, this is, I said, it's 2024. We are supporting everybody and everything. We need to run the numbers up so that we can be a part of the people who are literally working in this platform, because we are, who are getting paid to do it. We want to be seen too for our work. So make sure you guys are running the numbers up, liking, sharing, subscribing. Yeah. Sharing with everybody and their friends, and even the white people who need to hear it, who
the cool white people.
They're gonna get mad.
The Doctor Who fans who knew what this was when I brought it on. Shout out to the cool.
I was like, I don't know why that came to me.
Shout out to the white brother that gave me this. My cousin, we were hanging out in Cleveland, Ohio, and it was freezing and I wasn't prepared. So he let me get this. One of the coolest white dudes I ever met. Shout out to all the science fiction white folks that we've been hanging out and talking. Like, I just want to emphasize that there are some cool white folks that, you know, John Browns, you know, General Shermans of the world, because the South is rising again. And we just need to emphasize that it's not all white people, because we're going to need some white folks to fight with us alongside us to take on the lost causers, the anti-vaxxers, and all those people who are joining to form this Michael Flynn-led Voltron of white supremacy.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me this space.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. But we're not leaving just yet. We're going to take a break. Before we take a break, I want to clarify that Mosely, the president of Lincoln University, which is an HBCU, is they're doing an investigation, but he is now on a paid administration leave. So as this investigation is underway for Miss Bailey's death by suicide, I can't wait to see what happens. But if it's exactly what they said, a part of the bullying, that man needs to go, and we need to do the right thing by that university and get it some proper leadership that looks just like us. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we got Katt Williams on the docket. We also got, what's his damn name? It ain't Martin Luther King Jr.
Can't stand you. Tell me the story. I'll remember the name.
It's Jonathan Majors King Jr. and Megan Scott Coretta King. Good. I love that so much. But we'll be right back after these messages. Make sure you're tuning in. Take us a break. First of all, the silence is killing me. Ben done did an outfit change. It
I
was a
did.
lot happening in
I
that
couldn't keep
5
wearing that
seconds.
Ohio State jersey. I
He
just
was like, get it off. Yeah, it's okay. It's
it was
okay.
it was just to make a quick point that I'm gonna cut out later and go recruit the cool
And you
white folks.
did. You made that point. We just got to run in our mouth. Because there's so much to discuss. I mean, listen, 2024 came in hot,
Crazy.
spicy, from politics to the like just black folks' business. Okay. Listen, now on this platform, on this show, we've been covering Jonathan Majors, whom I think is so handsome. And yes, he is civil rights handsome. I kind of somebody
No.
stated it perfectly. It's almost like you are outside on a hot summer day in 1956, and Jonathan Majors is passing by with his little suspenders on, and you got on a muumuu because it's hot. So let's say we out in New Orleans, out there, it's just a hot dewy day, and he comes over and swipes that little piece of hair that you done took from under them curls right over into your side, and he kissed you softly, and it's beautiful. You think about that on a hot day. You're reading that from a 1950s book. And he gives that vibe. And if you go down to the show that he used to be on, what the hell was it called? He gave that exact vibe because it was like in the 1950s or 60s or something. I'm trying to remember the show, but Jonathan Majors gave that. Now,
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
My God, I was like, dang, Jonathan, who? Majors, okay. And so since then, I've loved them, but I can't.
He brought some of that 1950s.
Now it could be yes. They start getting controlling, right? He was. I think he was in character.
He was in character. No,
it's too hard. It's too hard. Now he done started dating a white woman. Now we went from Lovecraft Country to the Loves. I think there was a story about an interracial couple where they had to sign that into law, and I think their last name was Love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now he done went in there, and now I'm just like, sir.
He played the same role over. Anyway, but anyway, that's not the point. I'm sorry to take you off on.
Yeah, that's not the point. But the point is, here on this platform, we did cover the story originally with his the white woman that he was dating, and her going to court and winning, but watching the video, and it looks like a mutually abusive relationship. Not saying that like what he did was right. I need y'all to be clear, but it was a mutually abusive relationship. She did win. A white woman taking any black man to court. Come on, like let's be honest. It's Majors. You did yourself did yourself a disservice by asking this woman, first of all, who is not black, to represent you as Coretta King represented Martin Luther King Jr. We don't want to have to go into. We don't have to go into to like details of how he had Coretta out here looking crazy too, because we're not going to do that. But what I will say is the legacy that is Coretta King could never come from a white woman. Again, as Lincoln University could never have a white man leading the damn university.
You better
must stop.
Tie together.
We must stop. With that being said, with the audio that we heard of of him asking this white woman to be Coretta King for him and Michelle Obama, and her recording it and knowing that would definitely, she felt threatened because she couldn't be a strong black woman. And the way that he was talking to her too was condescending. So it was problematic. Her attacking him in the car, him running down the street, and she's chasing him. It was just awful. It was an abusive relationship. It was a toxic relationship that we had to be in the forefront of. Now we understand that Megan Good, her last name is not King, but he sat there in that interview seat and said, when they asked her, so how's it been for Megan? What has she been for you? He looked over in that corner after he knew that we heard with our good black ears that he told that white woman that she needs to be like Coretta King. He looked at that white interviewer lady and looked over at Megan and said, she's my Coretta. Baby, I could have just... He said that. And David, if you have that clip, I want people to see it because I don't think people believe me. This actually happened. Take a listen.
If Jonathan Majors just
Okay,
sat down
buddy,
for his
I'm
first
sorry. That
interview
caught me
since
off
being
guard.
convicted of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. Now he's receiving a lot of backlash after making comparisons to his new girlfriend
Baby, she's
and a
fresh
civil
out the
rights
gym.
legend. Take a listen to it.
She look damn good.
She's held me down like a Coretta, you know.
Good day. Major says his girlfriend Megan Good has been holding him down like Coretta King.
Oh, my bad.
Martin Luther King's wife. Now, this isn't the first time he's made reference to her when speaking about the type of woman he wants. Now, the daughter of the civil rights couple, Bernice King, is weighing in. She tweeted this message saying, "My mother wasn't a prop. She was a peace advocate well before she met my father." She goes on to say, "Please understand my mama was a force." Now, while Bernice did not mention Majors by name because she didn't need to, everyone knew what she was referring to. You can watch the full interview right now on the ABC.
Who was that lady? First of all, I didn't even know ABC is letting people really do their thing like this on their news channel. David, get me that
her name.
journalist's
My
name.
God.
Because first of all,
was
she's
phenomenal.
body, and first of all, I love her news voice because it gives news and it gives powerful. Who the hell is she? Because I need to know, and we need to start maybe playing more of her.
The stance is I'm in this space. This is my space now.
I just came out the gym as a Black woman, and I'm going to wear this dress, and we're gonna have church because I'm about to definitely give a word on Jonathan Majors, but I'm gonna give it in news style. And first of all, what is her name? I know we're talking about Jonathan Majors here, but
we'll
find me her name.
He'll be all right. That was a phenomenal. Can we just watch the first couple seconds of it again?
Yeah, play that one more time. Just the first, and I just want to watch it for her.
She's an angel.
How many views does that have?
If Jonathan Majors just sat down for his first interview,
It's giving me, because you know you gotta lean on that right leg to get that hip the
now
power.
he's receiving a lot of backlash.
No, let her play. I want to hear it. Let her hear it. Yeah.
His new girlfriend and a civil rights legend. Take a listen to it.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, we're not listening to that again. But damn, that lady was bad. Give me her name immediately. Throw it in the comment section, something. But anyways, with that being said, because she's absolutely gorgeous. She's stunning. And I love her work, whoever she is. I like how she just handled the story. But I will say, with Jonathan Majors doing that, we're talking about comparing to a civil rights leader because he wants to be. When they went into his house for the interview,
you saw his face.
Yeah, he wants to be that. So that's why he's mentioning Martin Luther King, because he wants to be civil rights. I told you he's civil rights fine. I think he is, and I would, if I was in the street and he stopped me, I would change my accent and be in the time with him. But that is not my story to tell. When they were interviewing in his household, he had civil rights boots, and it was like 7 pairs of them lined up against the wall. Like he just came from working a long day welding, because he upgraded from picking cotton. This is the welders, the men who was working at the steel companies. This is him. And so, anywho, I don't understand why he would look over at Megan Good, and I also don't want to get into their business either. Megan Good seems happy, but now Coretta King and Martin Luther King Jr., because their daughter has entered the chat, and we know Bernice enters the chat anytime she feels like her father is disrespected or her mother's disrespected. Now they're throwing around Coretta, and these new kids they hardly even know who Martin is. They don't even know him from the quote that white folks say quoting. They hardly know who he is, and now this is how he's being presented, and Coretta is being presented. They don't say her name enough, and I don't want her name to be thrown around in this way. Who really was Coretta if he thinks that he wants everybody to be like her?
Ooh, I hope you got a backup.
I do.
Oh,
but who was Coretta? Ben, go ahead and take the.
No, because I was gonna say this would be if my wife, she would be the perfect. David, take the Becca down real quick while she does that switch. If my wife was available, I would have her come in and sit down and say it for herself, because when I was listening to that news broadcaster give the description of, and Bernice King's direct mention of Coretta being her own force above and when she met Martin, y'all gotta excuse me. I got a lot of stuff going, a lot of variables up here. When she met Martin, she was already a force. But then when you look at her life after Martin, she was a groundbreaking, moving, earth-shaking person in and of her own right, and what she accomplished. So she was never the footnote for Martin.
No, and we know that the details of what she had to endure, even just being Martin's wife. So to me, it's one of those things. She's my Coretta. She's holding it down because she held it down because she stuck it through with me. And that's why she deserves her flowers, is because she stuck it through with me when I wasn't the best, which I understand. But you don't just tell a woman that, like, hey, I'm going through it, and you'll get your flowers when you get to the end of me just being this person that is putting you through it because I'm going through it.
He calls her his Coretta. Sister Bernice King has to enter into the chat, but also there's audio of him saying to did I hear you right? We said there's audio of him saying it to the white woman that he wants her to.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did. Oh yeah. Because you don't be on every show. So we covered that. There's an audio where he literally, she recorded it, and she felt threatened when he told her. And mind you, you can grab that audio for me, David. I know that voice that he gave her was condescending. I can say that. But I know that she was recording it because she was like, she knew what this would bring once she dropped it. Man is telling me to be, sir, you're dating a white woman and you're telling her to be like Coretta Scott King and hold it down because of who you are.
You're dating a white woman.
And he also said Michelle Obama. He also said Michelle Obama to that white girl. Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. But the thing is, he said this to this woman, and she recorded it. They played it in his trial. And then he turned around after losing that same trial to that white lady who said, "Who's Megan for you?" She, Coretta. He looked over there at her and said that Megan Scott King Good held it down like Coretta.
And he said it so, the look on his face was like he's so grateful to God.
He was looking over at her like he was in character. I said, now Jonathan Majors, now I done seen you in a couple of interviews, and I seen you in your natural self, and I don't know what this is, but this is acting. This is acting.
I'm actually a fan of Majors, to be honest. I like this work. I think it was,
and I just told you how I think he's fine. Just because I think he's fine don't mean what he did was right.
That's right.
Okay. And he needs to go and like just hush. But what I will say is
break for take a long little break.
Yeah, I've watched people, but it's not fair because I've watched people who didn't need to take a break after doing very questionable things to women in the industry get millions of dollars just to show up on a TV show.
No, who are you talking about?
What was his name? Charlie Sheen. They will triple your stuff. They will triple your check.
That's the treatment. See, that's the difference. That's the different treatment that the spoiled sons of the empire, these kids that have grown up to be the Charlie Sheens, the Bill Maher's, all these spoiled boys who ran up the steps on January 6th, all of them in their Tonka trucks, they ain't got nothing else to do but start their own little revolution. That's the strand right there. Now, I don't really know Charlie Sheen's connectivity to all that, but it's the same kind of spoiled.
No, I was just giving that as an example because I remember when he was going through so much drama, he wasn't losing anything. He was literally gaining stuff. The show that he was on that was popular at the time,
I don't know if it's
on
me or her.
Local television.
I hope it's not me.
Was like literally, I think he was getting paid, I don't know, just to show up, just to be there. So much money. And he's living his life off of that. There are other people that we know who excel after their troubles, or they're given an opportunity to go rehabilitate and come back to more. A lot of our Black actors, as soon as we hear anything about them that can be rehabilitated, honestly, in my opinion, they're dropped from everything.
Yeah. Well.
Every single thing. What's that man's name? Russell Brand? Baby.
He didn't even take a dent.
Literally, he didn't take a hit. Not a scratch, not a dent, not nothing.
Because it's important for them to be able to get away with this kind of stuff, because they've
Okay.
always been able to get away with this kind of stuff. Sexual
And he
assault.
actually, listen, it wasn't no mutual domestic violence situation where two people just needed to be apart from each other. It wasn't none of that. He did that. I'm talking about Russell Brand. He actually like is a pedophile. Like he
Wait. Can't mix them up. Can't mix up. You got a couple stories there mixed up.
Russell Brand. What I'm saying is Russell Brand is an actor.
Allegedly,
he's a
and
podcaster.
all the necessary disclaimers necessary to keep.
Those were Russell Brand. That to me, that's Russell Brand. To me, he's a pedophile. If you go into what he's done and what he's admitted to, and to me, that equals that. But for him, after even those things, he hasn't lost a penny, a dime, a red cent, a red London cent, baby. He ain't lost none of them colonization tools, steals, metals, nothing. He been working, and he's been on that podcast, and he's been able to grift, and he's been able to shout to the mountains about what he's done and continue on. And then he can do good things and say, look, I'm a good person.
It's funny how, but he used to be kind of liberal, progressive.
No, he was. I told you he's a grifter.
Now, and remember, he jumped ship and went on over. Now he's all conservative and aligns with the Fox News Tucker Carlson team. So funny how that works.
Yep. And now we look at Jonathan Majors, who just happened to just make the dumb decision as a black man of, it wasn't of dating the white woman, but asking a white woman to be something that she could not to him, and understanding that not understanding that in this toxic relationship that he has with this person, both of them, there should have been a separation, especially where he was going, where he was heading in his life. I don't care if the woman was black. If it was,
now you put it in, oh Lord, that's even when you put it that way, my God.
Like, to me, now he has to deal with that. And now he's brought in, after he recognized that white woman wasn't going to hold him down, he had brought in Megan Good, who we just saw go through a very public divorce with the pastor. And
yeah, that's right. I met him. He came down to the studio we were working in.
I remember. Yeah. Devon Franklin is his name.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we're watching her come back into the light, not for her work that she's done on the show Harlem. That's on Showtime, I believe, or HBO, one of those. I think it's on Showtime. The show Harlem, that is actually a top-rated show. Or for the show that she has, that she produced herself on, I think called A La Carte on, I think it's called the network that it's on is All Black or something like that. That she produced a show. Nobody talking about her work there. This is how she's being presented back out to the world as Jonathan Majors, Coretta King. I'm sick of it.
Disrespectful.
I'm sick of it. I need that moment where Will Smith said, "Leave my wife's name out of your mouth." Like, we need that. We need that. You had the audio. I don't even think we played it, but play it for Ben. Play it for Ben's ear. That audio. David must have went out to go walk the dog. Okay, we're gonna move on to this story that I have. Because with Jonathan Majors, one of the features that I love about him, Katt Williams sat over there on Club Shay Shay in front of Shannon Sharpe and said that Jonathan Majors only got his time cut down, his sentence reduced because of that black woman, Megan Good, because he ain't good. He ain't even good looking himself. This is what Katt Williams said about Jonathan Majors. He said, not somebody with a big old nose and a small head, but my thing is, as he was saying that, he was pointing at Shannon Sharpe.
Rebecca.
And I said, not him saying Shannon ugly too. Because Shannon is not only, to me, Shannon isn't civil rights features. Shannon goes way back into the motherland features, which I think is beautiful. He has a country accent, but if you did not know him, he could pass for being African. Like, I know we're all African, but he can pass for being like yesterday. His generation ain't too far removed. They was out there beyond. They were Shannon over there. You was laughing a little too hard at Katt's show. He was talking about you. Anywho, Katt Williams demolished, broke the internet, because the internet belongs to him. Though it's no longer Michael Jackson's internet; it's Katt Williams' internet, and he sat on. I don't even know why we have this as B-roll, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't, because I feel like David said the show is over, and it's really.
When's the last time he messaged us? Okay.
11:27, baby. It is. It is.
I was just checking for David.
Where did he go? Anywho, Katt Williams.
Oh my God.
Katt damn Williams. He got on that couch and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Katt Williams has the power to do so. Who would have thunk it, right? I love Katt Williams, and I think that he's amazing. He's actually the creator of the joke that Ben likes to talk about a lot, the Mountain of Caucasus or whatever. Yes, Katt Williams is the originator. You probably know him from Friday. You know him from his stand-ups where he plays the pimp persona, his beautiful hair. That's Katt Williams. It's now locked. He now rocks locks or whatever.
Really?
But
I didn't notice that.
Steve Harvey has sat on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay couch. And as he promoted his Courvoisier, I want to say. Oh, no, not Courvoisier. That's a brand. His cognac.
Oh, cognac. Steve got his own cognac now?
Yeah. That's what they was drinking. And then he had Cedric the Entertainer. He had Steve Harvey originally on that couch. He had Ricky Smiley, and he also had, I think, another comedian from the groups from back in the day, the 90s, on that couch of Club Shay Shay. Katt Williams' name was dropped a few times. So he contacted Shannon Sharp himself about a week ago and stated, hey, I need to come there. We got things to talk about. Shannon pressed record and said, hey, Katt, nice to have you here. Katt said, now, why would Steve, didn't even say hello. Now, why would you have somebody sit on this couch, Ricky Smiley? He started with Ricky Smiley. And basically, he came there to clear his name. And Ricky Smiley said some things that Katt said wasn't true about his character, literally the character that he played in the movie. I believe it was Friday, next Friday. And he's talked about how those comedians aren't on their level, but it also brought out some truths of comedians stealing each other's work. And also, there can only be one in this space. I hate that America makes that for Black people specifically. There can only be one of us in this space. We cannot work together.
Negrodom.
Yeah, like even in this space that we're doing, Ben, like we can't really, they don't want us to really work together. So they make it so that this one Black person or this one Black show will give the algorithm to them, but we won't give it to all of you guys. So that's how it always is. And what they did was the hanging with Mr. Cooper. What's his name? Mark. I believe his name is Mark. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's his name, Mark Cooper. He had that show. I remember hanging with Mr. Cooper. He was the principal at the school. We remember that show. And then after that show died out, I believe what did we see? Steve Harvey. I've never seen Steve Harvey before that.
Well, yeah.
No, I have, but he had that hairline. So he had it. So I never knew it to be fake. I never knew him to be bald.
I didn't know him, but I've been watching the Apollo Showtime at the Apollo
he was bald
now, and they go all the way back to before he had a good hairline. They go back to the pre-hairline days.
Oh wow! Yeah. See, I didn't know. Yeah. I've always only known him with the hairline.
Yeah, he was doing Showtime in Apollo like 1989, 91.
Oh, I wasn't thought of yet.
Before he could afford the hairline.
Okay, see, they said when they got him that role, they got him that crispy hairline. But basically, Mark was saying like, "Dang, I thought we were all like, how you steal my material?" And so Katt was bringing that out there, and so that was the whole thing. Katt was dropping, but he also was saying that he also was saying in that interview a lot of things that I think were. Like he said, he'd been reading books and he was homeless when he was 13 and he comes from a religious family. Things that actually let you know a little bit about who he is and why he is. When you go online, he said that net worth isn't even my real net worth. I make so much money. And for these men to sit here and say that I'm worth nothing, like I'm just some comedian that doesn't have originality to speak on my name like that. And I only show up on Netflix specials that I don't even take. I wouldn't even do if it wasn't a price point of my liking.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, none of y'all have specials. He showed a clip of Cedric the Entertainer stealing his joke. And it was, do you remember that joke?
Do we have the clip?
Oh, damn. I don't. I can find it. I would say I want David to find it. I don't know if David knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, this was an audible. Okay, yeah, no, great story.
No, there's an actual clip. There's an actual clip of Cedric the Entertainer, his joke being juxtaposed to.
And let me correct myself. I said Mark Cooper was the name on the show. Mark Curry is the name of the comedian.
Okay.
I said that, but still, folks, they know what we're talking about.
But it was like it was a whole thing. I say that to say Katt Williams broke the internet, but he also gave us an insight into his actual life. Shannon Sharpe, he did Shannon Sharpe a big one. Shannon Sharpe at that time had a high viewing at Steve Harvey with over a few million, and I think he had a couple more with just like 1 million, 2 million. That interview in one day was at like 16 mil.
Wow.
Now I think it's at like, I don't even know where it's at.
I haven't seen the video, but I just saw the numbers. It was like 42 million. That was it.
And I'm sure it's still growing. So this is what I'm telling you. He knew he knew his power when he got there. Yeah. And
nobody like the thing we like most is calling people out. We
do. But the other ones were calling people out too. And yes, it got him high views. Shannon thought it was just gonna be like, dang, nobody's gonna watch us after this. Nobody's gonna come to the couch. Nobody's gonna watch. And he said, watch what this does for you. Watch what this does for you. He said, because then he said, because the God that I serve I'm not a bad person, Shannon. The other people came here to destroy my name. And I'm just coming to clear it. I said, oh my God, no, Ben, you have to watch it. And it caused so much to me, it did a favor not only for Shannon, is it a favor to those comedians, because all these children who do not know who they are now know who they are, because now they have joined the comedic conversation, and now they're online literally making live videos talking to Katt, and everybody's going to visit their pages to see what they're talking about, who they are, Katt did them a favor, as he did Shannon Sharpe a favor. He mentioned names like Just Hilarious, new comics, Desi Banks, who he likes. He's watching. He's like, I'm always watching. He also mentioned something, Ben, which was very, very interesting. He said, I would go to shows. It could be shows with, he didn't want to say this. This is what Shannon said, did you help the Migos financially? And Katt, and mind you, that's just a random thing. I told you that. Would you ever? I don't know if Katt Williams and I would never put Katt Williams and the Migos together.
I would, but yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't know what, like, no, not hanging out together. I never seen them. I don't know. I just wouldn't put them together. So Katt says I love how Katt answers the questions. He takes a brief moment to say, "Am I about to say something dumb? Am I about to expose something, or how do I answer this question correctly?" He always pauses, and you can think he just pauses. And then he says no. But then they go into the conversation of him going to places and seeing artists, comedians, people using their gift and being underpaid. And they're all popular. And he says he goes there and he sends women to go pay them. Then he gives the women money and he sends women to go pay the artists or whoever. And Dion Cole said that this happened to him. And so many other people who are celebrities went under Dion Cole's post and talked about how Katt Williams has helped them, like paid them their worth when he's gone to a show or something. He's been behind the scenes and he knows that they either weren't going to get paid, weren't going to get acknowledged, and Katt Williams, so that he doesn't get the props for it, will send a random woman to go pay them.
Wow.
And I'm like, if that's not doing God's work to me,
come on.
Where people are giving the 20% and things to the church, that's how he's tithing. That's how he's paying his tithes. Okay. But that I could so a couple things. Like I could totally see, I've seen enough of Katt Williams comedy to know the depth of his thinking capacity. He has one of the most sophisticated geopolitical analysis
out of anybody. He can deconstruct the global political stage as it pertains to war. He did it in a comedy special.
I watched it, yeah. And he talked about chicken war and chicken wings. And it made sense. Because he's like, how come we got a lot of thighs and no wings? What's going on?
So I think first and foremost, like I appreciate you pointing out the details of his brilliance, how he'll take his time and decide exactly how I'm going to answer this question. But I do see I do see how he could connect with the Migos. You know, I don't know a lot about the Migos, but I could tell like they had a brotherhood between the three of them. Clearly,
oh yeah,
the academics almost
R.I.P. Take off. Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But Katt operates by that same code. You know what I mean? Katt is a brother who can be a brother, and I don't know him personally. I just know him from his comedy. So it matches up to me in that regard. I could see how he would help them out and stay in the background, just because of that kind of brotherhood thing that they had going on. Yeah. But I had no idea it got, I mean, I guess I should have assumed that the world of comedy for Black comedians is just as devious as the world of music for Black.
As anything with Black people together, and I hate this because we want to be together. We really want to work together. We actually do love each other. Black men love Black women. Black women love Black men, regardless of what online is trying to say. But what happens is they really make it hard for us to really be like, hey, yo, I'm gonna help you out in this sector. They're like, no, if you help this person out, we're gonna kill your channel. We're gonna kill it. It's like, it's terrible. Only 1 or 3 comedians can thrive here. And in order for y'all to do so, y'all gotta form a group and leave the rest of them out. And what did we see? 3 names that work together. Actually, we saw Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey work closely together in the Steve Harvey Show. What was that show called? The Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah, the Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, well, I don't know. I like Steve, no,
I like hilarious.
I love I just, but people, that don't mean people don't do stuff that you don't like. You know
what? Before I get out of here, I want to show you a response that somebody did. And of course it is a I'm gonna drop it in the chat for you, David, before we get out of here, because I don't want us to leave on this heavy note. But people said, how Steve Harvey would respond. Katt said something very special. He said, where these people are talking about me in comedy, I am the best to ever do it, and I put on the best to ever do it. I put people on that are funnier than me. That's the goal. I love that, Ben, because like I said, when we get into the space, we don't hear or see Katt Williams so much that they accuse him. We accused him, because that's what the world gave us, of being on drugs. That's why he was going to
being on drugs.
He said anybody who knows him, all of his fans knew it was weed that he went in for, or holding a gun in the streets while he's walking his baby. He adopted, I think, 6 kids.
I did laugh when that little boy beat him up on that soccer game, man. That was
that's crazy. He said, like, my life was in danger, but it was online and everybody was laughing about it.
Oh, his life was in danger.
That's what he was saying.
Oh, I didn't. You see a video? I didn't know he's like.
So you gotta watch the interview. But what my thing is,
he talked about that too.
He talked about a lot of things on there.
Yeah,
I think whatever he was going to be asked, it was going to be like it was going to be answered. That's why I'm like, Shannon Sharpe, I love him as a commentator and a journalist in the space of sports. But when we're talking about serious things, baby, I need you to ask more questions than so what's your love life looking like? And then stay right there. And then so you gonna get married? No, baby, we got a lot of things to ask. Listen, you were in jail a couple of times. What is the truth behind those arrests? Because a lot of people said you were on drugs. They said your teeth was gone. They said, I need those answers, because he actually came out and answered the question himself. His teeth were knocked out. He was holding up his baby, and he had a chain, and the baby was playing with the chain. Baby chain. He's trying to let us know the chain was heavy. And it hit his teeth and knocked out his front teeth. And he said at that time they were filming. He was filming for, I think it was Next Friday, and they all stayed they were homeless. He said, I decided to be homeless because I knew I needed new teeth. And so I decided to be homeless, set my kids up. He said they had everybody up in the trailer, and we were living out of the trailer at the time. And we would go and be the first ones all the time on set, so that he can raise the money to get his teeth fixed. He told Shannon, we got the same teeth. I got my teeth fixed like you did. I'm so it was ridiculous, but I say all that to say, if you have not watched it, I haven't even. What I discussed is not even me giving y'all the story in its entirety. Not me blowing it for y'all. Literally, there's so many layers to that interview. It gives you religious, it gives you education, it gives you life. It tells you why he is, how he is, why he is who he is. I'm trying to find that video, y'all, because y'all would die once I get it for y'all. But why he is
How
who
long
he
is the
is.
interview?
An interview is like it's Shannon Sharp's longest interview on there. It's Shannon Sharp's longest interview on there.
Wow.
I found the video, guys, and y'all
watch it. I just came across. I saw the numbers. It came across the algorithm, and I was like, oh,
why didn't you watch it? I'm surprised.
Just busy working.
It ain't your time. Anyway, I get it. You got things to do. You got better things to do with your life. I got it.
No,
I heard what you said.
No, I wish we could just go and watch some funny videos, man. I wish that's all we had to worry about right now.
I dropped it. Me too. I dropped it in the chat. Ben, you're gonna laugh about this. I hope you do, because I know that Steve Harvey pronounces his W's like you do.
Oh yes. So, I know
exactly.
I watched that. That was fun.
That was hilarious. And I want that. So David, I dropped it in our chat, text message chat, if you're looking for it. But anywho, people are saying that Katt should have never came out and said a thing. But I feel like sometimes you got to come and defend your name.
Yeah.
He said to Shannon, because Shannon was like, why are you talking about these men? He's like, you have an alliance to I forgot what he said to him, but it was so insulting.
Wait. He asked him why
you coming for them?
Calling out
guys
why you that sat on the couch and called out Katt. Wait, did I hear you right?
Yeah. Shannon said, "Why you coming for them? Like, what's going on? What's going on, Katt?" And he's like, I like him. He's like, yeah, I don't know what you have an alliance to liars.
Wow.
And he's like, and I don't know, I don't like that for you. That's what he told him. Why do you have an alliance to people who aren't good? But Katt was just giving it straight, no chaser. And I think that a lot of us can use a moment one day and sit down, not to really empty. He emptied the clip of truths, but in a manner where it's like, this is my truth. And here are examples, but here's what I'm doing with my life. And here's where you can find me, because the work doesn't stop. No matter how many times people spit on my name, and I haven't come out and said anything about it. When I could have rolled that lady, that Wanda, at the radio station, I could have really drilled her to pieces, but I did respectfully so, because she is a woman. And he said, and she is overweight, and her nails do look terrible. Like, he was going in.
What was the show? Wanda in down in Atlanta, the show where you are. Yeah.
He said that she, I don't know if it was in Atlanta though, but he said that she tried to sick an audience on him. And the audience was like, we're not going to go against Katt because you said so. You were wrong.
We might talk about two different things. Okay.
Yeah. Basically the interview was to be talking about his work, and she got on there to talk about his arrest. And remember, he said, she's called him like a felon. He's like, I'm not. I got off on every case that I've been on. I've been arrested 13 times or whatever. And I walked out in like the next 3 days, or like, that's how he was talking to her.
Are you talking about the Frank Ski show interview?
Maybe it is. I don't know, but it was with the woman.
That was the one that was in Atlanta, but I don't. So we got different. But are you talking about the clip where the sister tried to come to him?
Here would be the response.
So bad.
Here would be the response to this is going to be the response allegedly to how Steve Harvey would respond, and this is a comedic relief. So let's take a listen.
Oh,
Steve Harvey here. Yeah, you thought I was gonna run, huh? Y'all wondering where's Steve Harvey? I know people been waiting on my response to what Katt Williams done said on Club Shay Shay. I was on Club Shay Shay before Katt Williams. See, the reason why it took so long, I had to pray to God to give me the strength not to get mad. God talked to me every day, every damn day. I've been in this business a long time, boy. See, you done messed up with the wrong one. See, you just sitting there talking that bullshit to Shannon Sharp, talking about, I couldn't be a movie star. Yeah, yeah. I guess you didn't see You Got Served. Yeah, that there was acting. Huh? Then you gonna say, I took Mark Curry's jokes and stole his show. Boy, yeah, boy, you got the nerve to call me Mr. Potato Head. Calling my ass Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo! That was a good one. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good one. But I digress. So what? I wore a wig. Huh? People asking, why did you wear a wig? Where and when did you get the wig? Whatever. But your ass thought that shit was real. Everybody thought my shit was tight. They thought it was a real hairline. Huh? Steve Harvey here. Yeah.
No.
You thought I was gonna run, huh?
It's replaying now, but that was so
Steve
funny.
Harvey?
Yeah. So
I know
what?
people waiting.
It's everybody asking when, where, why I got the wig. I was like, it's the laugh too. Yeah, yeah. Why? And then he put a little brush cut on top of his mustache. Godfrey. So let me tell you guys a quick story about this man. When I lived in New York, I rode on the 3 train, sometimes the 2. The doors opened on the 3 train, and I looked up, and it was Godfrey, a beautiful Black man. And we looked at each other for a while. He smiled at me. I smiled back at him. He got off the train, and he stood for his next stop, and we just watched each other through the window. And I smiled, and I said, I'm never going to see him again. But that was that comedian, man. That is a true story. Swear to God, that happened. But he's hilarious. But he's fine. He's fine too. Look, he's fine too. See, I got a problem. Who I think is fine. You just if you funny, you fine. I said, Katt Williams. Has Katt Williams always been this fine? See, this one I start saying. Katt always had a little. He always been this handsome. I don't know. See, I got a problem. Somebody that makes me laugh now, I'm like, damn, he fine. That's how you know I'm getting older. You ain't really got to be fine to me. Everybody, you're fine. Yeah, but anyways, this is hilarious. I think that he played like I want to see Steve Harvey's response. We're probably not going to get one because Steve Harvey's going to say, we don't need to enter the chat because look where I am with my life, you know. Right. Oh, right. He also, Katt Williams came for Steve Harvey's wife. He said, how this man that was just telling us in the 90s that the woman he got, his wife, was the reason he does what he does, changed his whole story years later with a new woman and says that this is the reason why he does what he is, who he is, and what he does in his lifetime with comedy.
My God.
He's like, y'all want us to sit here and respect wives you don't even respect. Yeah, but you trying to respect this other woman and the way you got her one right. Still.
There's an overlap there because you got the same phenomenon with the Megan Good. What's the civil rights brother you like?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, right? That same kind of disrespect was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I don't want to go any further.
Disrespecting Black women and expecting them to hold you down like that. That's basically what Katt was saying. That Black woman held you down. I'm not saying that Marjorie Harvey is not Black, but I'm saying you knew what it was. People get divorced every day. Put some respect on the person that you were with's name, though. Don't act like there wasn't somebody there rocking with you. When I think of Kevin Hart, who also got name dropped, and it's been hell for him since. Every time you go to his comment section, man's just dropped a new movie, and in this comment section, it's still got Katt Williams in it, just all through it. And Katt and Kevin Hart actually responded to Katt, and it wasn't good for him. But I have to say, when I think of people like even Kevin Hart, we know Tori, who was his ex-wife. Tori, who was holding it down for him and throughout his career, who actually was the one that was supposed to be the comedian, and he ended up being the comedian, and that's what it was. Yeah, she's a comedian. And he ended up, becoming the bigger comedian. She held it down for him, had first 2 babies, all of it, went to tours with them. They rocked all the way through. And then he met another woman and called that woman his rib, his life, the heart's this, the heart's that, all of that, right? And then cheated on her publicly. But that's his rib. Okay? Treat these black women with respect so that the world can respect them as well. Guess who's going on?
The black woman. Did anybody ever give us that black sister name from ABC?
Oh, yeah. Hey. That's Tashara Parker, all right. I found her and she looked damn good, Ben. Wow. Her man fine too. All right. Hey, I'm out of here. Tashara, bigs up to that's her. He had the wrong woman the whole time. He had the wrong woman the whole damn time. Hey, y'all, this lady is bad. Jesus.
And she handled that story.
The description on the team says she's a traffic anger. I didn't because I was also basing it on that. The other Brittany's a journalist, so I figured that the traffic anchor wouldn't be talking about Jonathan Majors.
They got it wrong because Tashara is giving the people what they need. Hey, yo, I'm about to follow her right now. Everybody go follow Tashara and say that Like It or Not sent you. We're at the end of the show. We found out who that beautiful black woman was. But shout out to Brittany Moncrief too, because you're just as beautiful. Hey, shout out to all beautiful black people in black media, just like me and Benjamin P. Dixon. Listen, if you are not already a patron, patreon.com/like it or not, patreon.com/like it or not. It's 2024 and we need your help. Crowdfunding is the way to go. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you had a little pause there and I tried to get one in. Go ahead, finish.
Crowdfunding is the way to go. We need your help. Your support has gotten us here thus far. We pay for this programming out of pocket, but listen, we are trying not to miss a show. We want to be with you every Saturday. I love you guys so much. Ben, what do you have to add to it?
No. Just shout out to everyone in the different chats, everybody who's been participating. I want to thank Nashar. Who was that? They gave us the right name.
There were a few super chats, is what I was gonna say.
Yes, and give those out too. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, David.
So Infinite Content wants to know if we can get the team to wear kifiyas. I know I'm mispronouncing it, but the garment that the Palestinian people wear.
Thank you, Infinite Content, for that super chat.
I think.
Who else we have?
Brenda said the gaslighting manipulation run deep for the elitist predatory class since too many people believe in the rugged individual of which MLK warned.
All right. Who's next?
And Black Sparrow Plus wanted to celebrate the fact that they woke up early enough to watch us live.
There it is.
I love that. There was one on mine and I want to get to it, but I don't even know how to get to it.
No, the Black Sparrow one was, and Brenda were both from your channel on YouTube.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. See, I ain't gonna do no work. Than't you, Jesus. I ain't gonna do no work. Listen, guys, we're at the end of the show. Thank you so much for calling out our superstars, because those are our superstars. I'm talking about everybody in the comment section, everybody who likes, everybody who comments, everybody who supports, everybody who shares. You guys are our superstars. Okay. Hey, we'll be back next Saturday. Ben has his own stuff that I watch and I see you dropping. And so listen, we're doing our thing and we need your support. Okay.
We're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. We're gonna keep doing it. And I know that you're dropping something. When you drop stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, he's been working on that. Oh yeah, he was working on that.
That's good stuff coming up. That's all.
Yeah.
I did my best to behave in this episode, Rebecca. Thank you for letting me just do the little bit I did. But we got some stuff to start dropping real soon. So
yeah. But guys, listen, so much stuff to come up. Keep following the channel, keep following our pages to see what we're doing individually and together. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you next Saturday right here on Like It or Not. Love you, mean it.